Hello and thank you for watching. This is Blue Streak TF here with Transformers Studio Series Warfare Cybertron Ironhide. And before we get into Ironhide, we are going to take a quick look at his packaging, which is in that newer style packaging, which I really like. Just kind of the dark colors with the awesome artwork and then the colored bands. I think it's really cool. So up here you've got a picture of Ironhide, kind of, I don't know, rushing into battle or something, or just being there, being Ironhide, cool. And down here you've got a picture of his truck car mode, which also looks really cool. You can see it says Transformers right across the front in big red letters. It says Studio Series down here in blue. Warfare Cybertron, Ironhide, transforms in 28 steps. Okay, so he has a car. And then on this side, you just have a larger version of that picture of Ironhide. It says his name again, Transformers Studio Series. And on this side, you've got continuation of that with something here. I'm not sure what that is. I've never played the game. A little bit of a ding in this box, that's okay. Voyager class. So he's a Voyager class guy. On the back, you've got your product shots, so you know what you're buying if you don't know already. And then up here, got a picture of Ironhide from the game, blasting something, probably a Decepticon. And then up here, it says his name, and then Warfare Cybertron again. On the box, you got words, things, barcodes, and that is pretty much it, I think, for the packaging. So now we'll take a look at Ironhide himself. And here we have Ironhide in his car mode, which is just huge. I don't know if I can properly relay just how big this guy is by himself. But yeah, he's very, very cool, very Cybertronian looking. Very cool. So getting close here, you can see some of the lighter colored orangish red here, the detailing on the front. Autobot logo there, some gunmetal gray, I think, for the cockpit door. I'm not quite sure how I like this orange. It's a little weird to me, but hey, it's part of the design. I think it's pretty cool. And then you got some more gunmetal here, and then really nice wheels with a little red line in there. Some more gunmetal gray, some silver plastic, looks really, really cool. Some nice detailing on here. Back, really well molded. Could use some paint on there, but it's fine. And then going on to the other side, up on the top, it's just kind of top-like. And on the bottom, you've got not a whole ton of robot junk. Just kind of the underside of his shins there, and then his feet, his arms. But overall, it cleans up really pretty well. Some gaps in there, but hey, at least nobody displays their toys upside down. Maybe. All right, so now we will go through a quick look at his accessories. So up first, we have this big blaster gun, which looks pretty cool. Really well molded. Could have maybe used a bit of gunmetal paint on it, but hey, it's cool. Yeah, it is blast effect compatible. I forgot to bring my blast effects out here, but it is compatible with that, so that's pretty cool. And then he also does come with this big axe. This big axe of, as I think the YouTuber Emgo would say, big axe of justice. So yeah, just kind of that plain silver plastic down here, pretty well molded. And then you get up to the head here, which is a little bit darker gray plastic with some of this orange paint on here that just looks really, really cool. All that molding and whatnot, pretty symmetrical on both sides actually. You don't have one side that's more hollow than the other. I like that a lot. It does come separated in 2 pieces. That does serve a purpose for the robot mode, but for storage of this guy, you can take the axe, and there are a couple ports here, and I think one here, and then you've got 3 tabs, one here and then 2 here, that you can just take this and you can just plug it right on. If I can get this to focus. There we go. So you can just plug that right in there, like so. And then if you don't tab it in enough, it'll just come unpegged, as is per usual with pegging and things. So then you can have your axe like that, and then you can take your gun, and then he's got 2 pegs on here, 2 slots back here, so that will just line up and peg right into place. So now he can drive along and maybe use this to blast some Decepticons, and then blast whoever's next to him. Probably also Decepticons if he's blasting them. So I think that's pretty much all there is to say about the car mode. A quick comparison here. So here we have the Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime, which you can kind of see how that works out there scale-wise. Have your Peter Cullen buddies, you know, you fans of the J1 cartoon. All right, now to transform him. So we take him, flip him over, take these red pieces, pop them down, so they're just tabbed right into here, that gray slot right in there. So just take those and untab them, and then you go ahead and unpeg them from each other, and then come around here to the top, just kind of wedge your thumb in there and pop this whole top section up, and then bring it back on that hinge, bring that hinge forward like that, and then separate these like so, just bring them back like that. Those are not going to stay there, they will move in just a second. So then you come down here to this gray tab, you just pull that down about there, and then just unpeg this whole assembly, unpeg the back section, and then that will come unpegged. So you can take and rotate this around on this hinge, and it'll snap into place like that. And what you want to do is you want to come here, untab this from right in there, rotate it down on there. You want to take this double hinge here and then just collapse this whole section in like that. Then you want to take this piece, and there's 2 slots here and 2 tabs here. So just take this, bring that down, kind of get everything squeezed together. Gonna have to rotate this a little bit. There you go. You got that. And you take this and rotate it around, and you have one of his legs all transformed and done. And then, much like most songs, some songs, the second verse is, if anybody knows reference, it's the same as the first. So take this, fold that down, rotate this around, so that locks into place. And you want to take this, untab it, fold that down, use that double hinge, and collapse it all in. Again, 2 slots, 2 tabs. Just take that and snap that together. Rotate around at the knee. You have his legs transformed and ready to go. So then you want to take his waist, rotate that around, bit. So he's starting to get kind of tall. Then you want to take this front section and just lift all that up. So it was tabbed in here. There's a tab in here, goes in there. So it's just kind of tabbed in multiple places. So you just bring that whole big flappy section out like that. Then you can come here and unpeg the arms. They're just pegged right in there on that hinge right there. Then you want to take this peg, undo that, and rotate that out. Straighten that. Take that, collapse that in, snap it in place. Rotate this down. Bring this section downward, and then rotate at this red hinge, and then you can bend that elbow and bring that up to about there or so. And then do that same on this side. Pop that, bring it all the way out, extended, like so. Rotate this down, and then rotate this all the way around. Bring that out. So then what you want to do is you want to take this hinge here and bring that whole assembly down. Take this hinge here, bring this whole assembly out. So now he's looking like a dinosaur beast. I don't know what that is. I'm just gonna leave that be. Then you want to take this section here on that hinge and fold it out. Take the ball joint, take that up, around, so you have this facing forward, tuck that down over his shoulders. Just do the same on this side, bring it out, rotate it around, pull that down. Then you want to take this section, bring that up there, and then when you bring this down, this will snap into place. So that slot will go into there, and then you have the option to just leave his head where it is. This little red tab will press against this and it should pop his head up. It's a little bit in a neat little automorph feature. Let's see if I can catch it on camera here. Okay, see, watch this. There, his head pops up all on its own. Very, very cool. Anyway, you want to bring him around, take these panels, fold them in, like so. Then you've got these two red tabs here. They will tab into those slots on his back, and then you just peg that all together, and there you have the Studio Series work for Cybertron Ironhide in his robot mode, which looks very, very cool. He's just a big hulking bruiser of a bot. Very Ironhide-y, and he looks great. Coming in for a look at his head there. Focus real quick. This is not focusing. Oh, there we go. So you can kind of see he has some really nice detailing on his head there. Specifically on his face. It's just very, very cool looking. Then you got those bright blue eyes, and then you got that silver gunmetal chest piece. Down here you have one of those orange Autobot logos, a little bit more orange paint down there on his abs, some gunmetal paint going on, nicely detailed shoulder pads, and then you've got just kind of your standard arm going on. But the hand has this side panel on it, which kind of makes me think of like a knife fist. That's cool. You got big wheel elbows, and then you just have some more detailing going on, and then pretty plain looking shins, but that looks really cool. And you got these big slots on his feet. Back, he's just big, thick. He's thick. That's the only word that comes to mind, is thick. Then you've got his front on his backpack, which honestly, I'm really okay with. I think he looks good with a big backpack. We've already seen this, but it's in a little bit of a different orientation now. It looks pretty cool. So yeah, that is that Ironhide kind of looked over. And now we'll take a quick comparison. All right, so here we have the Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime, which is, he's quite a bit bigger than his Cullen pal, Iron Buddy, second in command, whatever you want to call him. Anyway, so yeah, that's Optimus and Ironhide next to each other. Very cool. Alright, so now we will take a look at his accessories here in robot mode. So first up is his gun, which you can have him wielding one of three ways. First is standard, just peg in his hand, like so, like that. Or you can put in this hand, that's the second way. And then the third way is a really interesting one. So on this arm and this arm only, it's engineered where you can just pop it off, like that. Then you can take the gun, and you've got this hole back here, this peg, so you can peg his gun on. Thank you. Like that. And then you can have the whole gun hand thing going on. And then for his axe, you split it into two pieces, and then you can slide this up through his hand. Quite stiff. Just kind of have to wiggle it. There we go. So you can kind of do that. And then I take the axe head then, and then you can just flip it right on. And then now you've got him with his gun and his big ol' axe of justice. It's for lack of a better term. Alright, so then we're gonna take a look at weapon storage. So spin him around to the back, and then you have his gun here with this little port on there, and then you just take his display stand peg and you just plug that right in there, which just looks weird in my opinion. I think that's very weird. But anyway, so then you take his axe here, and then you've got, I can never remember if it's this peg or this peg, one of the two. And then you've got this slot here. So then you can just peg it on there. It is this one. So it's the top peg there, you just peg it right on. And now you have your weapon storage. All right, now we'll take a quick look at his articulation before wrapping up this video. So his head can look up a little bit, can look down a little bit, not a whole ton of side to side movement, and then he can look left, can look right, can't really do a 360 just due to the way everything is shaped in here. That's okay. And then his shoulders can move forward, shoulder pads will kind of get out of the way for you. They can go back, can go out to the side pretty far if you can just get his shoulder pads out of the way. So you can really reach way up there. And then you can get a bicep swivel. You can get an elbow bend, 90 degrees there. And then his wrists rotate 360 degrees. His waist rotation, you can rotate all the way around. His legs kick forward that far, back about that far. You can kick out to the side. You do have a thigh swivel right above the knee. Have a pretty decent knee bend. His toes can rotate down, his toes can rotate up, and he does have two kind of thuping points of our ankle articulation. there, and there. So that is that guy's articulation. So there is the Transformers Studio Series War for Cybertron Ironhide. If you like this video, please be sure to let me know either in the comments or by leaving a like. And if you've not subscribed already, you can go ahead and do that. And then also, thank you for making it to the end of my admittedly boring video. And just remember that Jesus loves you, and that he would and has done the ultimate thing that he could do for you. He died for you to save you from your sins, and he wants to bring you to him, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring some people back to him, or just to him in general. So thank you again for supporting this channel, and I will see you next time.